Playing on a Har-Tru clay tennis court is a truly pleasurable experience. The ability to slide into shots reduces injuries, and the cool surface temperature makes playing on clay enjoyable on even hot summer days. The slower pace of the ball off the surface invites longer rallies and more strategic play. However, the rigors of play do require that you complete daily, weekly, and monthly maintenance tasks on your Har-Tru clay court to ensure it remains in top playing shape. Our video today will cover weekly maintenance tasks. The weekly maintenance tasks that you will need to complete include the removal of built-up material at the low ends of the court, the scarification of low traffic areas around the court, and patching of low areas. The single most important factor in providing a highly playable Har-Tru clay tennis court is proper drainage. Your Har-Tru clay court was built with a subtle slope of 1 inch and 24 feet to 1 inch and 30 feet. Har-Tru clay tennis courts are sloped in this manner to ensure that water is able to evacuate or drain off the court after heavy rains or watering. Over time, Har-Tru material will migrate to the low area of the court, and the court will lose its plane or slope. It is therefore imperative that you inspect the low end of your court on a weekly basis to see if the material has become higher than your brick line. If you find that there is a buildup of material on the low side of the court, use a lute scarifier to break up the material and lute the material into piles. The excess material can then be removed from the court. It is also imperative that the landscaping outside the court is lower than the court by 6 to 12 inches so that the water has somewhere to go once it leaves the court surface. The next weekly maintenance task that you need to complete is the scarification of low traffic areas of the court. The lute scarifier tool is required for this task. Even the most diligent daily grooming will miss some hard to reach areas of the court, typically the net line, the corners of the court, and the edges of the court. These areas must be agitated and scarified on a weekly basis to prevent buildup of hardpan and court growth. The third weekly maintenance task that you will need to perform on your Har-Tru clay court is patching. Pay close attention to how water reacts on your court after watering. Any areas that hold water long after the rest of the court is dry are probably low areas that need to be patched as part of your weekly maintenance routine. Once you have identified a low area by sight, mark it off and wait for the area to dry completely. Use a string line, straight edge, or the teeth of a lute scarifier to identify how low the area really is and how many bags of new Har-Tru material will be needed to patch the low area. Use a lute scarifier to rough up the court surface before the application of new Har-Tru material. This helps the new Har-Tru material to bind to the existing court surface. Transport the required new bags of Har-Tru material to the patch location. Break open and dump the bags. Use a 30-inch or 48-inch lute scarifier to distribute the material within the patch. Use the teeth side of the blade to fluff the material, and the smooth side of the blade to distribute the material. Once the material has been applied, broom the new material to provide a level finish with the surrounding court surface. Once the material has been broomed, water the patch to its full depth, preferably using a water hose. Once the moisture content of the patch is ideal, roll the patch with a roller. Re-examine the patch area and make sure the depression has been fully repaired. If the area is still low, simply repeat the process. If the area behind the baseline is holding water for a long period of time after a rain or regular watering, your court has either a low area or a high line. This is very common in the most trafficked area of the court. Use a string line or straight edge to identify how low the area really is and how many bags of new Har-Tru material will be needed to patch the low area. Use a lute scarifier to rough up the court surface before the application of new Har-Tru material. This helps the new Har-Tru material to bind to the existing court surface. Transport the required new bags of Har-Tru material to the patch location. Break open and dump the bags. Use a 30-inch or 48-inch lute scarifier to distribute the material within the patch. Use the teeth side of the blade to fluff the material and the smooth side of the blade to distribute the material. If the baseline is the proper height, it can be used as one side of your patch area. Be sure to push the new material along the patch so the lute blade does not catch on the line tape nails. Once the material has been applied, broom the new material to provide a level finish with the baseline and surrounding court surface. Once the material has been broomed, water the patch to its full depth. Once the moisture content of the patch is ideal, roll the patch with a roller. Re-examine the baseline area and make sure the low area has been fully repaired. If the area is still low, simply repeat the process. If you remove built-up material on the low end of the court, scarify low traffic areas, and patch low spots on a weekly basis, your Har-Tru clay court will stay in peak playing condition.